is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Mapúa University wins the centennial edition of the National Collegiate Athletic Association of the Philippines. The dramatic 2024 Formula One season wraps up in Abu Dhabi. Marlon Stockinger offers a unique virtual F1 experience in the country. All that and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 9th of December. Now, here's our roundup. The season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, with all that's at stake this weekend, had its share of tense moments in the race, with incidents including Oscar Piastri being spun around by Max Verstappen. Lando Norris, leading from pole position, had a flawless drive, not giving Carlos Sainz an inch. That secured his 4th win of the year and, more importantly, secured McLaren's first Constructors' Championship in 26 years. Ferrari ended their season with double podium honors, with Sainz placing 2nd in a swan song with Ferrari and Charles Leclerc finishing 3rd. Lewis Hamilton, in his final race for Mercedes, delivered a remarkable comeback to finish 4th after starting 16th, highlighted by his late race overtake of teammate George Russell. Max Verstappen, already the driver's champion, finished 6th after a penalty. Verstappen's Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez did not finish, along with Franco Colapinto and Valtteri Bottas. The Constructors' Championship is especially significant for McLaren, given their struggles over the past 6 years. 7 years ago, McLaren finished 2nd to last in the Constructors' standings and has since made a remarkable turnaround for the year, or for the team, thanks to the efforts of team chief Zach Brown and principal Andrea Stella. Post-race, after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri revealed that Max Verstappen privately apologized for the collision at Turn 1, where Verstappen's lunge from 4th on the grid sent both drivers into a spin. Piastri managed to recover P10, while his team, McLaren, secured the Constructors' Championship title. Piastri acknowledged that Verstappen's move was too optimistic, and the stewards penalized Verstappen for the incident. Now, Brad Pitt. Yes, Brad Pitt was spotted on the set of his upcoming F1 movie in Abu Dhabi wearing an army green t-shirt over a white long-sleeved shirt and khaki slacks. Filming alongside Damson Idris, Pitt has been working on the movie at real Formula One events. The movie, directed by Joseph Kosinski, is set to debut in theaters in June 2025. In the NCAA, Alan Liwag of the College of St. Benilde was named the MVP of the men's basketball tournament in the league's centennial year. The 6'6" center averaged 14.9 points, 11.1 rebounds, 2.2 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game, leading the Benilde Blazers to the finals. He also earned Defensive Player of the Year and, of course, headed both the mythical and all-defensive teams. Now, Mapua's Christopher Hobilia was named Freshman and Rookie of the Year, while Arellano's J.L. Capulong received the Most Improved Player award. The mythical team included Ato Barba, Tony Inot, TJ Felebrico, and of course, Clint Escamis. The NCAA defensive team featured Liwag, Felebrico, Capulong, Kevin Santos, and Wilmar Oftana. But like in most league awards, for some reason, the MVP did not take home the championship. Clint Escamis and the Mapúa Cardinals ended the NCAA Season 100 men's basketball season with a 94-82 victory over the College of St. Benilde Blazers. The emotional triumph ended a 33-year Mapúa title drought. Despite missing out on a 2nd consecutive MVP, Clint Escamis was rightly named Finals MVP, as he averaged 24 points, 4 assists, and 4 steals across the series. Key contributions came from Cyrus Cuenco, Lawrence Mangubat, and rookie Chris Hobilia. It was redemption from last year's finals loss to the sun-bedded Red Lions. Now, Coach Randy Alcantara, who was part of the Joel Banal-coached 1991 back-to-back NCAA champion Mapúa Cardinals, praised the team's hunger and determination, making it easier to guide them to their first title in 33 years. This season end was nothing short of a Christmas miracle for Coach Alcantara, who initially thought that he would not be coaching again after undergoing a neck and spine surgery this year. The University of the Philippines is on the brink of reclaiming the UAP men's basketball title for the fourth straight season after defeating defending champion LaSalle 73-65 in Game 1 of the Season 87 Finals. Green Archers head coach Topex Robinson pointed out pre-game that when his team beat the Fighting Maroons twice in the eliminations, two key players, J.D. Cagulangan and Quintin Meliora Brown, were not in the lineup. And indeed, the duo powered UP like nothing before. UP's strong fourth-quarter performance, led by Quintin Meliora Brown and Aldos Torculas, secured the win and extended their streak of Game 1 victories in the finals. Key contributions also came from Jerry Abadiano, Harold Alarcon, and of course, Cagulangan. Unsung hero Jacob Baila's job was to stop the unstoppable MVP frontrunner Kevin Kiambao, and succeeded so that Coach Robinson credited Baila on record for Kiambao's anemic second-half performance. While KQ still produced LaSalle's best numbers, they were mostly in the first half before the Fighting Maroons clamped down on him. Mike Phillips picked up the slack, but it was a choice that UP paid off for. UP now aims to clinch the championship in the next game, marking their first title since 2022. LaSalle will seek to force a do-or-die Game 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the Milwaukee Bucks with 34 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists to a 118-113 victory over the Brooklyn Nets, ending their two-game losing streak. Damian Lillard contributed 15 points and 11 assists, while Bobby Portis added 23 points off the bench. Despite Dennis Schroeder's 34 points and 10 assists for the Nets, they fell to their fourth loss in 5 games. The Bucks overcame a late 108-104 deficit with a strong finish, including key plays from Chris Middleton and Portis to secure the win. The Golden State Warriors avenged their previous loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves with a thrilling 114-106 victory. Despite missing Andrew Wiggins and struggling with turnovers early, the Warriors fought back. Jonathan Kuminga's and Kevon Looney's performances, along with Steph Curry's clutch 40-foot buzzer beater, were key. In the fourth quarter, the Warriors overcame a late Minnesota run with Gary Payton II and Buddy Hield making decisive plays. Draymond Green sealed the win with a powerful dunk, sending the Warriors into Wednesday's Emirates NBA Cup Tournament quarterfinals on a high note. And here are the results of other games in the NBA today. Now speaking, here's some of the results for the NBA. Okay, so speaking of the NBA, Gilas coach Tim Cohn believes Kai Sotto should be playing in the NBA, emphasizing his skill level and performance in recent FIBA tournaments. Cohn praised Soto's ability to play as a 7'3" wing, highlighting his improved passing skills and offensive impact. Soto's notable performance includes 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists against New Zealand in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers. Soto has averaged 15.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 3.8 assists in the qualifiers, helping the Philippines secure a spot in the FIBA Asia Cup. Cohn sees the 22-year-old Soto's rapid improvement in stamina and physicality as just the beginning of its potential. Kai Sotto has not given up on his dream of becoming the first full-blooded Filipino in the NBA, even as he is currently playing for the Koshigaya Alphas in Japan's B-League Division 1. His strength and conditioning coach Mel Lantin revealed that Kai has ruled out entering the PBA Season 50 rookie draft next year, as Sotto is focused on improving his game with the goal of playing in the NBA. Sotto has shown significant improvements in stamina and physicality, as evidenced by his performances in the recent 2025 FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, where his efforts have helped the Philippines secure a spot in the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Now for our daily dose of sports lingo. Flag marshals are hundreds of strategically positioned volunteers who ensure the safety of the race. They wave specific flags when drivers need to slow down, when there's debris on the track, or when the race is over. In the just concluded Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, some of the flag marshals were Filipino. Good job to the Pinoy flag marshals. It's now time for our off-court buzzer. The Golden State Warriors need to decide how to approach the February 6th trade deadline. Their main issues are the lack of a rim-protecting center and an additional premier scorer to support Stephen Curry and Andrew Wiggins. Trading a struggling wing for Portland Trail Blazers' Robert Williams III and Jeremy Grant could address these needs. Williams is a top shot blocker while Grant is a versatile scorer and defender. Portland is willing to trade these players, making them viable options for Golden State. Trading Jonathan Kuminga for Williams and Grant could help the Warriors strengthen their roster and increase their championship chances. Kuminga's looming restricted free agency has been complicating fielding decisions for coach Steve Kerr. But after last week's Kuminga takeover against the Houston Rockets and a coaching decision to have him start against the Timberwolves instead of Draymond Green, one gets a feeling that the front office may be weighing their options carefully in this case. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 9th of December. When we return, we'll feed your need for speed with race car driver Marlon Stockinger. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard.
Merry Christmas!
Ngayong Pasko, may regalo ang Arena Plus para sa iyo. Get a welcome bonus of 3,188 pesos with us para tuloy ang saya sa bawat laro ngayong Pasko. Arena Plus ang bahala sa saya ng buong barkada. Manood ng NBA sa Arena Plus and score up to 10,000 pesos daily bonus plus a chance to win multiple bonuses.
Maligayang Arena Plus ko!
You know, we're not teenagers anymore. So yun yung inaamin namin, hindi na kami teenagers. Now, we're a little older than teenagers. So when the challenge came in, sabi namin, kaya ba natin to? And then if you keep on watching IG, if you keep on watching informations, the older you get, the more fit you have to be.
Yes.
Correct?
That's true.
Yes.
That's
So
absolutely
eating the right
true.
food, doing the proper exercises, keeping an active lifestyle is very important to longevity. Kasi yun naman yung gusto namin ni Aga eh. Di ba? Gusto namin makita pa natin yung... Hindi, gusto ko makita lumaki pa yung anak natin.
Ganda.
Bilyonaryo.
Exactly.
You look like a billionaire tonight.
The bigger the hair, the closer to God.
Bilyonaryo. Super B. Yes.
Super B.
This is Tessa Prieto, and this is Bilyonaryo Channel.
Hi, this is Sam Pinto.
And Anthony Semrad.
Hi, this is Donnie.
This is Belle.
You are watching Bilyonaryo News Channel.
This is Nicole Anderson. Hi, this is Chief. Hey guys, this is Kylie Brazosa.
Hi, this is Mon Gutierrez, and you're watching Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top.
Kunyari lang I'm a billionaire. But hello to all the viewers of Bilyonaryo.
Our correspondent Erica Christensen had a chance to indulge in a day of race car driving with a slight difference. Here's her report.
So with me is a professional race car driver and the founder of Meta Motors, Marlon Stockinger. Thank you so much for, of course, accepting our invite to even feature M1 Championship League here today. And welcome to the show.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Erica. I hope you're enjoying so far.
Yeah.
As you know, we're sitting actually on the racetrack itself here at Meta Motors, so really cool that we can do this interview.
Yeah, pretty cool, I must say. The moment I stepped inside the warehouse, I was just in awe of your setup.
Yeah.
And I remember you were telling me that you set this whole place up in 10 months, is that correct?
Yeah, so actually the whole idea or concept of Meta Motors was it was on a piece of paper. I'd say like maybe 14 months ago.
Wow.
And then from us building the circuit and setting up, all the rigs, all the cars, that's recently happened in the last, I'd say, 4 months. So it's been a crazy adventure so far, but it's just awesome that we're here now and able to do this.
I bet. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your professional race car driving experience, because I know that you've been a pro for almost 25 years now. Is that correct?
Yeah, since I was basically a toddler.
Exactly. Well,
So-
basically a toddler.
Yeah.
So, how was the transition of you being a pro in the field of race car driving and now being one of the founders of Meta Motors? How was that transition for you like?
I think it was, it was really amazing. I'm very lucky, I think, to find like my identity outside of just holding the wheel in my hands, when I go racing. I've always thought about just building something beyond like the racing career. And I think in our sport, we're quite lucky because we can race basically until the wheels fall off, like 50,
Right.
60. So I still have a lot of time ahead of myself. And using my experiences there, racing in go-karts, Formula cars, driving a Formula One car, working with F1 teams, doing punditry for Formula One, like in broadcasting as well. I thought all this useful experience, all these life lessons could come into use, and thankfully it culminated in this wonderful creation that we've done here with Meta Motors.
Right. And speaking of creation, Marlon, can you tell us how exactly Meta Motors can recreate like the actual race car driving experience?
So I think really the most important aspect for it was we wanted to make racing inclusive, right? There's only a certain percentage of the world, maybe like 0.01, I mean, don't quote me on the numbers, but like a small percentage of the population really understand what it's like to race at the highest level.
Right.
And there are obviously challenges. Motorsport can be expensive, but I think with like our governing bodies, like the FIA, the racing series that we've all been participating in, and the rise of gaming and esports,
Right.
I think it's very much humbled the sport. So in that essence, like we really focused on providing a unique new innovation and experience where we kind of like merged both worlds of, let's say, video gaming and real life racing all together.
Yeah,
So-
very exciting. All right, now you talked a little bit about Meta Motors, but how can this truly impact the sport itself? How do you think can it impact race car driving?
Yeah, well, I think again, the main aspect is we're very unique with our concept. So with like a usual video game, you normally like log into the game and you have this virtual world. In this scenario, we have a game client where, the drivers, the players, gamers, they log in, but this actually logs them into the real world.
Right.
So literally, we're actually using a real racetrack, like what
Yeah.
you're seeing here.
Really cool.
And then you're using real cars, which are scaled cars. We use 1/7 scale vehicles. So we work with real world physics. Like if you hit the wall, the car gets damaged. And in a video game, it's so easy to just press restart.
Right.
And you don't feel those consequences. So there are some negative feedback here without obviously the driver getting hurt. But I see it as being like a better training tool because it teaches you like to be patient. It makes you realize like, oh, I can't just thrash around my car like you would in the real world because it could get damaged or I
Right.
could get hurt.
All right. Now let's jump into the M1 Championship League.
Yeah.
So how does it work? Can you walk us through how does it work? What are the mechanics? How can people join?
So, I mean, the M1 Championship League is kind of like our little sports property that we started, and really the best way to kind of get everybody interested, to provide a platform also for the drivers, the teams, their logos, like the track logos that we have here. It's really a culmination of everything we've built so far and really, testing it at the pinnacle, which
Yeah.
is people, drivers, gamers, the teams racing against each other and all fighting for a trophy at the end, And then we wanted to create this competitive environment where people could test the limits of the car. And what better way to do that through competition or sport, I
Right.
think that's a wonderful way we can get people interested, grow the community.
So in terms of the technicalities of this league, what are the mechanics specifically? Like, is it a round robin first, or do you team up players? Like, how does it go?
So yeah, like we opened registration, I think, a month before we started round one.
Okay.
Teams and drivers were able to sign up. I think like one of the coolest sign-ups that we have is that we, as Meta Motors, runs an M1 team. And this is kind of like a grassroots program where we just, whoever's interested has the opportunity to join. They don't need a budget. We run the cars for them. And they just get kind of like this wonderful, you know, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, golden ticket.
Yeah.
Like you get the chance to race with some of the best drivers and gamers here in the Philippines and compete. So that's really
That
nice.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So, Marlon, what is the end goal? Let's say, for example, you already have a champion for the first season of the M1 Championship League. Now, what is the end goal for this specific player? Do you wish to bring them abroad to compete with other players from all around the world, or what's the plan here?
So, I mean, we've obviously set our wheels here in motion in the Philippines, but I do believe that this is a global project.
Yes.
That will have several racetracks all throughout the world. That's actually why we focused on teleoperation, using 5G to connect to the cars, which is, you know, kind of unheard of. But I mean, we're not the first with the technology, but we're definitely the first putting it together in this type of setting or concept. We also use obviously Wi-Fi or internet to connect to the cars, which is what we do here in the warehouse. And then eventually, by establishing the first league in the Philippines, we'll have several across Southeast Asia, and eventually a global championship. So you could join in, anybody who's just interested, they could drive the car. We'll see that later. But going fast and mastering it is actually very hard.
Right.
So I think that's where we have like a wonderful philosophy here, because you see when the players practice, they put their time and effort, you know, they work with their team, they actually think about how to set up the car. There's a difference, you know.
Okay, so let's say before the players come on to the league to actually compete against each other, do you also hold training sessions for them prior?
Yeah, so we have like practice sessions, open practice days.
And who are the players that you have currently for the first season of the M1 Championship League? Are they usually esports gamers? Are they actual race drivers?
No, I mean, we like to include everybody.
Okay.
I think what's wonderful about our league is we already have like 4 girl racers that have been participating with us. Because I think, you know, like the car, well, in this case, our car is battery. The battery or the engine doesn't know if you're a girl or a boy.
Right.
So here, like, it's all about talent and as hard as you want to work. So we like to have everybody involved. I think that's been a cool thing.
All right. Now that you've said what you said about Meta Motors, of course, and of course your M1 Championship League. Now, here's a hot take, Marlon. I want to know, do you think teleoperated racing can ever compete or rival against live motorsport events on a professional level, eventually?
Well, whether we'll get to that point, I think only time will tell, to be honest, because every year that goes by, technology just gets better.
Yeah.
I think still the purest aspect is the human in the car itself. There's nothing more in terms of like emotion, experience. Nothing obviously beats that.
Adrenaline.
I know that feeling myself.
Yeah.
But in terms of creating more accessibility, that's definitely, I think, what we're doing here. And in terms of innovating technology, I mean, it's just this type of environment. I really like to look at racing as the pinnacle of human ideas and development being pushed in like a laboratory, which is basically like the racetrack.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the very insightful conversation, Marlon. I feel like we got to know you a little bit more, and of course, your M1 Championship League.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thank you. You're gonna drive next.
Yeah. Oh my God,
That's
I'm
your
so
turn now.
scared. Okay. Thank
Cool.
you.
I was waiting for the part where Erica got behind the wheel, but maybe next time. Okay. When the scorecard returns, be sure to keep your eyes on the prize.
Loves na loves sa linamnam.
maximum Direk, iyan mo na si ate. Kasi sa ₱1 lang, makakalaro ka na sa Bingo Plus.
May mga premyong pwede mapanalunan. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya.
Malay mo, mapanulunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live streaming bingo sa Pinas. Pag panalo sa bingo,
Plus sa saya!
The latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront.
It's still continuing with hearings on the EJ.
But we can recommend the filing of cases with the proper offices or agencies.
It is always victimizing the poor, so we will continue to go against corruption in the budget.
At the forefront with attorney Karen Jimeno, 8 a.m.
Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Rain Musngi. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey. The crypto market climbed over $800 billion. Tech giant Alibaba has announced plans to issue notes. Investors are anticipating a significant downward move for the cryptocurrency. Swift is adding a new chapter to her record-breaking year.
Follow the Money, 10:30 a.m.
Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Always on top.
Good morning, I'm Ferdy Salvador and welcome to Industry Beacon, where we shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, and the leaders shaping our future.
The industry changes quite rapidly.
The industry has evolved, and in fact now it's really like a multidisciplinary approach.
We know where to go. We've got our comfort zone.
Those are early manifestations for the of what I'm happy you told me that because now I know I'm not getting Alzheimer's.
Industry Beacon on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. Tomorrow, December 10, the New York Knicks take on the Toronto Raptors at the iconic Scotiabank Arena. Tip-off is at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. The Knicks head into this game with a 14-9 record, sitting fourth in the Eastern Conference. They're looking to bounce back after a tough 111-120 defeat to the Detroit Pistons. Jalen Brunson led the way in that game with 31 points and 10 assists. But the absence of Karl Anthony Towns due to a sore right knee was felt on both ends of the court. Meanwhile, the Toronto Raptors are at 7-17, holding 12th place in the Eastern Conference. They're coming off a 118-125 loss to the red-hot Dallas Mavericks. Jakob Poeltl had a strong showing with 20 points, while Grady Dick dropped a career-high 27 points. Looking at the matchup, the Knicks averaged 121.1 points over their last 10 games, led by Towns, who is putting up 25.2 points and 13.2 rebounds per game this season. Now, on the other hand, the Raptors have struggled in close games, posting a 3-8 record in double-digit decisions this season. They're shooting 46.4% from the field, a tick below the Knicks' defensive allowance of 46.7%. The New York Knicks are entering the game as 5.5-point favorites. With the over-under set at 225.5, highlighting expectations for a competitive matchup with plenty of scoring potential. Now for the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns is listed as day-to-day, while Mitchell Robinson and Kevin McCullough Jr. are out. The Raptors will be without Bruce Brown and Emmanuel Quickley, with DJ Carlton also day-to-day. The Knicks need to rely on their depth, especially if Towns can't play. Look for Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges to charge offensively. For the Raptors, it's all about defensive execution and capitalizing on second-chance points. Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes must control the glass and create opportunities in transition. Can the Knicks get back on track and maintain their spot in the top 4 of the East? Or will the Raptors defend home court and pull off the upset? Next up, in the PBA, the San Miguel Beermen will be facing rain or shine. The Beermen are looking to bounce back after a heartbreaking 99-104 loss to the NLEX Road Warriors. Despite solid contributions from Quincy Miller with 21 points and Julmar Fajardo with 20 points, the Beermen struggled to close out the game. On the other hand, Rain or Shine continues to dominate with a 5-game winning streak, recently defeating Phoenix 122-107 behind Adrian Nocum's all-around game and Aaron Fuller's double-double performance. San Miguel enters as a slight favorite at minus 1.5 points, but they'll need to show resilience after their loss to NLEX. CJ Perez and Marcio Lasseter will be key in sparking their offense. Rain or Shine, meanwhile, is a plus 1.5 underdog but has the momentum to pull off an upset. Dion Thompson and Santi Santillan have been the cornerstones of their recent success. The over-under for this game is 183.5. Can San Miguel rebound and regain their footing, or will Rain or Shine continue their winning ways? The Beermen's slight edge in odds and bet is countered by Rain or Shine's momentum and fresh legs. Expect a showdown that could go either way. Now, who will dominate the hardwood and grab these crucial victories? Find out tomorrow at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time, Juan Manuel Fangio. He says, "You need great passion because everything you do with great pleasure, you do well." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.